Welcome to Movie Xtra. Today I will show you a drama, horror episode from a series called Into the Dark. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. Enjoy the video. The movie begins by showing a large corporate building. We see a woman named Jane who is working very late today. Yesterday was Valentine's Day and Jane was about to fly to New York today to surprise her ex-boyfriend. After finishing work, Jane starts leaving. On the second floor we see Guy who is in the bathroom and accidentally wets his pants. Then after drying his pants, he comes out and the whole time Guy is looking at something important on his phone. Guy also goes to the same lift in which Jane is. Both of them do not know each other. Guy talks to Jane and here we get to know that there is an office holiday for 5 days. Therefore, the office will be closed for the next 5 days. Inside the lift, the two talk for a while and Guy notices a drawing made on the wall of the lift in which a boy is trapped inside a box. Guy shows this painting to Jane and then suddenly their lift stops in the middle. Guy presses the elevator's call button and emergency button. No one answers. Both of them wave their hands looking at the camera, but they also do not get any response. Both also tried to call but the lift has bad signal. Now Jane panics as she had to catch a flight to meet her ex-boyfriend. Both of them start talking after giving up, then Jane says that she works as an account manager here. Guy says that he is a newcomer to this office. After some time both of them remember that there is an emergency exit on top of all the lifts. Jane tries to open the exit by climbing on top of Guy. But it doesn't open and Jane hurts her hand in the process. Then several hours pass and both tell each other their names. Jane says that she is very thirsty. Guy gives her his water bottle. He also has a bottle of wine which was given to him by his client. Jane says that they will now be imprisoned there for 5 days because no one is coming to the office because of the holiday. After some time Jane needs to pee. But she is ashamed to do this in front of Guy. Guy explains to her that there is nothing to be ashamed of. Then Guy tells her to pee inside the empty bottle. Now Jane agrees to it and Guy turns around while Jane pees inside the empty bottle. After some time, Jane draws a woman in that drawing on the wall. A few more hours pass and both of them talk to pass the time and also play games. Jane asks Guy about his friends or girlfriend, to which the guy tells that he has no friends or girlfriend and no one even knows that he works in this building. Jane tells that she is in a similar situation. She was going to go to New York today. After talking for a while to surprise her ex-boyfriend, both of them start drinking the wine. A few hours later, it is midnight and both of them start drawing each other to pass the time. Meanwhile, Guy tells Jane that he hid one thing from her. Guy tells her that he has seen her in the hall outside the office before and finds her very beautiful. Hearing this, Jane starts blushing a little. After this both show their drawing to each other. Guy made a beautiful drawing of Jane and Jane drew Guy in a funny way. Jane tells Guy that they should talk about something else. Hearing this, Guy says that they can talk about juicy stuff. Jane agrees. Now both talk about their respective dark secrets and fantasies and while talking both come close and get intimate inside the elevator. After getting intimate, Guy tells Jane that he thinks he will fall in love with Jane. To this, Jane turns away from Guy and tells him that she already loves her ex-boyfriend. She says that they shouldn't talk about what happened after they get out, but Guy wants to take this relationship forward. Hearing this, Jane says that what they did was just casual and nothing more will happen between them. Guy starts getting a little angry. He says that he loves her. Then he tells her what more he had hidden from her. He says that he is not new to this building and has seen Jane not a few times but thousands of times. He knows everything about Jane, how she often works overtime and more details. After this Guy shows his mobile to Jane which shows the CCTV video of Jane coming out. He is actually the security guard of this building and he watches Jane on the CCTV every day. He wants Jane, so whatever is happening with Jane was already planned by Guy. Meaning them getting stuck in the lift was not an accident but part of Guy's plan. He did this so that he could get closer to her. After saying this, Guy takes out the key of the lift and tells Jane that she can leave if she wants. Guy starts the lift again. Now Jane gets very angry knowing all this and she tells Guy that he kidnapped her and that she will file a complaint with the police. This makes Guy stop the lift again. Jane starts fighting with Guy for the keys. The key breaks and now they are really stuck inside because the key was the only way out. Seeing this, Jane angrily hits Guy's head and Guy also hits Jane's head on the floor, making both of them unconscious. After some time both of them regain consciousness. Jane tells him there should be other security guards in the building. Guy tells her that there are actually 3 guards but Guy already told the other 2 guards that he would take their shift and the other guard, whose name is Teddy, had to go on a date. After hearing all this, Jane calls him a kidnapper, which makes Guy angry and he starts acting crazy. He checks Jane's purse. Inside the purse there is a shirt that Jane got for her ex-boyfriend. Seeing this, Guy puts the shirt on. He tells Jane to open the second gift box and Jane opens the gift box out of fear. Inside that box is a cigar and lighter and Guy lights the cigar. Jane gets very scared so she sits back in peace. A few more hours pass and Guy notices that there are no screws on one part of the ceiling. So that must be the emergency exit. He jumps to check and sees it's an emergency exit. He asks Jane to help him climb up and says he will open the lift after leaving, but Jane doesn't trust him at all. So she says she will not be able to lift him. She proposes to go first. At first Guy refuses because he thinks Jane will tell on him, but Jane assures the guy that she will not call the police and the both of them can go on a date after leaving. Guy trusts her and helps her out of the lift, but she doesn't pull him out, which makes the guy very angry. Jane climbs up the stairs and starts going near the exit door. In the lift, Guy makes a rope out of clothes and as soon as he gets out he starts going towards Jane. Jane was about to get out but Guy pulls her down, causing both of them to fall inside of the lift directly from above and both of them faint. After a while, Jane first regains consciousness. She immediately sets fire to some paper so that the fire alarm goes off and the fire department comes and saves them. Guy comes to his senses, but Jane beats him up and ties him up. She starts cutting the private part of Guy with the cigar cutter and Guy starts crying. After seeing his condition, Jane stops. Jane records the guy's confession on her phone so that she can later make a police complaint against Guy with the help of this. Meanwhile, Guy also tells her that he was actually a popular manager and the story he told to Jane was also true, but his life changed when he got intimate with a girl in a car and fell in a ditch. Guy survived in this accident, but that girl died and for this reason Guy was jailed for 6 months. When he came out of jail, no company was ready to give him a job and that is why he was hired as a security guard because they needed employees. He also reveals that he came up with this plan because he knew that Jane would never date a modest security guard. We see that another security guard named Teddy brought his girlfriend to visit the building. Just then he sees on the CCTV that 2 people are trapped in the lift and he goes to help them. He opens the lift from outside and gives one of his keys to Guy so that he can open the lift from inside. But Guy says that he needs help, so Teddy himself climbs inside the lift. As soon as the man goes inside, Guy starts the lift, causing the lift to crush Teddy. Jane gets scared seeing all this and Guy knocks her unconscious and locks her in the trunk of his car. He also hides Teddy's body, goes to the CCTV room and deletes all the footage. He sees Teddy's girlfriend and kills her too. Guy is in the car and goes to a deserted street and starts pouring petrol in the dustbin. He was about to burn Jane here, but when he opens the trunk, Jane attacks Guy. She pushes him and drives the car forward. After driving a short distance, she reverses the car and hits Guy, causing Guy to fall into the dustbin. Jane gets out of the car and she sets fire to the dustbin, which also sets fire to Guy inside. The end. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and leave a like if you'd like to see more videos like this.